said, MAGA is going to help Donald Trump cover up the Epstein files. I know many people hearing this will think that I'm trying to be contrarian or something like that. This is clickbait, but you are completely wrong. I mean what I say. Some of you will move to saying that I'm a moron from that comment, but I'm gonna say it again. MAGA is currently helping Donald Trump cover up the Epstein files. That's just a reality. So, a lot of bozos in left-wing media have been posting a bunch of, I guess it's clickbait or whatever it is, a bunch of stupid videos talking about MAGA turning on Trump. Let me inform you, MAGA is not turning on Trump. MAGA will never turn on Trump. Trump is MAGA. So it's not really possible for MAGA to turn on Trump. Now, that being said, if you want to be totally anal about it, sure, there will be some defections, right? One person here, one person there. But overall, MAGA will stand behind Donald Trump, right? Ignore all the buffoons in left-wing media. I want you to go and talk to your local MAGA person, and I can pretty much guarantee you, if you ask them these questions, right? Forget about Epstein files or whatever you're seeing on social media. Ask them this. Do you like Donald Trump? Answer is going to be yes. Do you regret voting for Donald Trump? The answer is going to be no. Do you feel like Donald Trump was one of the best presidents that we've ever seen? The answer is going to be yes. If there was an election right now, the election was held right now, would you, in this moment, vote for Donald Trump? The answer will be a resounding yes. All the right-wing influencers and their audience, that's going to be the response. They're not turning on Epstein. What they're doing is helping to cover up the Epstein files. What do I mean by that? Again, I'm not trying to be contrarian. I actually mean that. So what do I mean by that? So Donald Trump is at the heart of the scandal. He's trying to cover up the Epstein files, and this is nothing new, right? This is the guy who wished Ghislaine Maxwell wished her well, attacks everybody else but her, attacks everybody else but Epstein, right? But he kicked him out of the club, though. Yeah, he kicked him out of the club, and then he was seen hanging out with him after the fact. And the reason why he kicked him out is the same reason why he would if he was guilty, which is he doesn't want to get busted, right? This guy's messing around with somebody's daughter, which right-wing influencers will never tell you. They'll just say, oh, he kicked out Epstein for bad behavior. Like, why? Do you see the pattern? How right-wing media, at the same time, while they're saying, we got to get the files, we got to get this out, they're at the same time suppressing this, right? They will talk about Trump kicked out Epstein, and they won't tell you why. The best you'll hear from them is, oh, bad behavior. They're covering it up, right? That's what the GOP is doing. That's what Trump is doing. And that's what right-wing media is doing. They're covering up the Epstein files. They don't want to tell you about what's happening, right? So this is how this is all being covered up. So Donald Trump, when asked about releasing the files before he got elected, he says, he's stumbling around, right? Then you have all these people around him who are like, Epstein, we gotta get the files out. And then as soon as they get the job to work under Trump, the guy who's all like he doesn't want to say anything about Epstein and I don't know. As soon as they get to be working for that guy, all of a sudden, there's nothing to see here. So what is being done? The right-wing media influencers who basically are state media, right? These guys are literally friends. Charlie Kirk just made a video and he admitted he's friends with Bondi, he's friends with Bongino. This guy is friends with people at the highest levels of our government. Donald Trump literally called Charlie Kirk. Right-wing media is state media. That's what it is. Trump is calling these people and asking them, not directly, but indirectly, to assist him in covering up the files, and they are complying. Charlie Kirk just did a video saying, hey, I don't want to talk about Epstein files anymore. It's state media. It's state motherfucking media. But yet you have these same MAGA people who were all excited about the Twitter files, right? Excited about the Twitter files. But now, where's that energy? Where's the Twitter files energy? Where's Matt Taibbi and all these free speech, the government trying to control media, and the Biden administration were trying to corrupt them. Where are all these morons? Where's the Epstein files? Not those files, but the like the Twitter files. Where's the Epstein file version of the Twitter files? Where's that? When's that gonna happen? When are these buffoons, right, who get get involved in these hearings and the mainstream media is saying that I'm not a journalist, but I'm actually a journalist and I want awards and blah blah blah. Where are those people, right? So the cover-up goes like this. Right-wing media, basically, they know that Trump's guilty. They know he's involved. They know he's trying to cover this up, but they can't say it to their audience, so they pretend. So what do? They get on camera and they say, Pam Bondi, that Pam Bondi, oh, Pam Bondi, oh, Dan Bongino, everybody else but Trump. We've seen this movie before. It's the exact same thing they did in the first term, right? Trump is never the one who is involved in anything. He is simultaneously a boss, a real president, and he's doing stuff and he has a real leadership and whatever, and he's sharp, he's mentally sharp, and at the same time, he's an absolute loser that hires losers the first time around. Oh, it's his first time, he didn't have experience. Now it's the second time around, he already had 4 years, and he's still hiring a bunch of corrupt losers, right? But somehow, he's still sharp, he's still a great leader, but he's hired a bunch of losers, corrupt losers. Bondi is corrupt, right? Those moron liberals said Bondi was corrupt, don't bring her into government. That's what the moron liberals said. And now, we see that Bondi is corrupt, right? So now MAGA wants to say, oh, okay, yeah, Bondi's corrupt. The same thing that the rest of the country said, right? The rest of the country said, this cabinet is an absolute joke and they're corrupt. Now, the never-Trumpers, obviously, that's another story. There's people who hate Trump no matter what he does. We're not talking about them, right? We're talking about regular, normal people that could see the writing on the wall, and they were like, this cabinet is a joke. These guys are not competent, right? They're corrupt. They're a bunch of yes men and yes women. That's what we said. But now MAGA wants to flip and say, oh, Pam Bondi is the prosecutor. Who controls what she gets and what she doesn't investigate? Who would have the power to tell Pam Bondi to cover up the Epstein files? Donald J. Trump. So the cover-up is, let's play games, let's play dumb, and let's focus on Pam Bondi and Bongino, right? And that is what the right-wing folks are doing. That's what conservatives are doing. Playing this game about, oh, it's Bondi. It's not Donald Trump, it's Donald. And also, right-wing media, I want Officer Tate, Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro says nothing to see here, right? And Charlie Kirk is like, Epstein files. Trump calls and says, shut the fuck up. Then Charlie Kirk says, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Right? That's what's going on. Then you got Shapiro already said, like, there's nothing to see here. Of course, Israel, right? Nothing to see here, says Ben Shapiro, right? So now they need to come up with something to protect the government because they are state media. Their job is to keep the conservatives in line, voting against their own interests, right? Whatever it is the government wants, that is the right-wing media's job. So right now, what the government wants is for the Epstein files to go away and to be covered up. That is the order from the President of the United States. He wants it covered up. So what is state media doing? Oh, we got to come up with some kind of story, a distraction, right? So Shapiro and Tatum at the same time? Is it a coordinated effort? You tell me. At the same time, they post videos talking about, Joe Biden, right? Let's talk about Joe Biden, right? Donald Trump is a motherfucking president. He's currently trying to protect a pedo ring. He's trying to protect the Epstein files. He's trying to cover the Epstein files. But Officer Tatum, who's trying to sell hats to make more money, that's what it's all about, is the money. He wants you to think about Joe Biden and the auto pen. Oh, Joe Biden and the auto pen. Oh, this and that, and Joe Biden this, and the liberals, and the left, and the radical left. And, really? And then there's the talk, who is it? Alex Jones or I forgot the name of the moron. Talking about, the Democrats. Oh, Cigar. I gotta talk about that clown. The guy who's friends with everybody. All the deep state. Cigar should never talk about deep state, right? This guy is friends. Like, if you're a child and you're the kind of person that talks about the deep state all the time, deep state, ooh, the deep state, right? Cigar he understands you, right? He likes to talk about the deep state, but look at who he's friends with. J.D. Vance, I know him very well. Yes, J.D. Vance, and Peter Thiel, yes, I know him. He knows all these cats, right? All these wealthy, ultra elite people who have Donald Trump's ear. That's who Cigar is friends with, which is why he goes on Tucker Carlson on his podcast to help cover up the Epstein files while pretending to care about the Epstein files, right? What did he do on Tucker Carlson? Talk about, Pam Bondi this and Pam Bondi that. Let's not talk about Trump, right? And then Tucker Carlson is one of the best in the business as far as propaganda. He's so slick. He talks so smooth. He's like, I don't think Donald Trump did anything, whatever. People trying to say Donald. I don't think that's the case. But let's talk about Pam Bondi instead of talking about Donald Trump, right? That is how you cover up the Epstein files, right? MAGA is helping to cover up the Epstein files. How? Because the guy who's trying to cover it up, they are with him. They're not revolting, right? They're not revolting at all. They're not going after Trump or whatever it is. Let me tell you what's actually happening, right? And before I say that, what they're actually doing, this is what's happening. Imagine people who like Bernie. Let's talk about the Bernie bros, right? So they love Bernie Sanders, right? Bernie Sanders gets elected as president, right? He talked all this talk about he's going to increase minimum wage, and he becomes president, and he's doing a lot of great stuff. He's doing stuff about housing. He's doing stuff about whatever it is that the left is concerned about. He's getting stuff done. The left is excited. But one thing he's not doing is he's not even talking about increasing minimum wage, even though he ran on it, right? And then you have some left-wing folks that are disappointed with Bernie. And they might say stuff, Bernie, you really talked about you were going to do this stuff and you didn't do it, right? And then imagine the right-wing media says, the left is turning on Bernie. They're not turning on Bernie. They love him. They love him. They love what the job he's doing. They're just disappointed in how he's handling this one thing. But it's worse than that. It's absolutely worse than that. Imagine if there's actually a plan to increase minimum wage, right? Everybody in the Democratic Party is on board, but it's Bernie Sanders is the one who behind the scenes is saying, guys, let's not do this. Let's not increase minimum wage. So imagine Bernie Sanders is a guy who's actively suppressing the ability to increase minimum wage, and the left is not attacking him. They're not revolting against him. They're just disappointed because they feel like he could do more, not realizing it's worse than him not doing enough. He's the one actively holding it back, right? That's what MAGA feels, right? MAGA's not upset with Trump. They're disappointed. They feel like he's the good guy. He's a great president. But on this issue, he just doesn't get it, or he's allowing people to tell him wrong stories, or he's making a big mistake in a bad way, as opposed to them realizing he's a fraud, he's lying to them, and he's trying to cover this up. That is not what MAGA is saying. Let left-wing media tell it. That's what they're saying. They're saying Trump this and they're going after. Nobody's going after Trump, right? A month or two from now, this will all be forgotten. They're going to finally land on something. The administration is going to give out stuff to these influencers. They're going to finally land on something that works for you fools, and you're going to get some shiny thing, Biden auto pen or something, right? It's just going to be like January 6th. It's the same thing. We've seen this movie before. In the moment, oh, we care about the kids and the women and this, and we want to see justice. And then it's like, what about this auto pen stuff? No, we want to see justice. But this auto pen stuff, no, justice. Oh, but the auto pen, look, Joe Biden, we're going to put Joe Biden in jail. Joe Biden in jail? Tell me more. Let me hear more. No, we want to see the children see justice. This is not right. You cannot distract us. Auto pen, next month, we're going to put Joe Biden in prison. Oh, yeah, let's see. Oh, Biden, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up, lock him up. And then I step in, hey, guys, what happened to Epstein? You guys haven't talked about Epstein in the last 2 months. What's going on? I thought you were concerned about justice and you wanted to see those kids see justice and the women see justice. I remember you guys were talking about Epstein files. Release the files, release the files. What happened, man? Actually, there is no files. Alex Jones told me that the Democrats, they had deleted the files when they were in office, and that's the reason why Pam Bondi couldn't release the files, because the Democrats already released those files. But right now, what's more important is that Joe Biden needs to go to prison. Lock him up. Lock him up. MAGA will help Donald Trump cover up the Epstein files. I can almost guarantee it. All this bullshit of them pretending to care, it is only for now. It is going to be short-lived before they move on to the next bullshit. The only reason why they think they care is because they've been completely captured and controlled by the government and the elites through the propagandists like Charlie Kirk, who openly admits that he's good friends with the people in the government. They have captured these people. So what is happening? If I keep telling you something over and over again, eventually you're going to start internalizing and believing it, right? They've been listening to these right-wing buffoons talking about Epstein and the Democrats, Clinton, and they've been hearing this for years and years and years. It's been this rhetoric. So at some point in time, they began to internalize it. So they don't actually care about it. It's just they hear about it so much that it just became part of who they are and the ideology and whatever. And they can't help themselves. It's just Epstein, the list, oh, the girl. They don't give a fuck about the kids, the girls, none of that shit. Right? Because let's just say the Epstein file comes out and a bunch of billionaires go to prison. Will MAGA then be concerned about other sex trafficking situations? And will they be saying like, oh, go after that person? I mean, if they're a Democrat or a liberal, sure. But if there's somebody who's doing a sex trafficking ring and there's something with some kids or whatever, is MAGA going to have the same energy? Or do they only have energy where, oh, Clinton, oh, Clinton, we want to see Clinton in jail, lock him up, we just want to see liberals fail, we want to see liberal tears, please, can we get liberal tears? They are completely controlled by the propaganda media that they watch. That is the reality. They don't give a fuck about the files or any of this shit. In fact, they will help Donald Trump to cover it up. So, I want you guys who are listening to this to always remember, don't let this time, don't forget about this time. In this moment, when you see all the, oh, there's an Epstein files, when they move on to the next thing and they don't want to talk about this anymore, when Trump and his team, through the MAGA influencers, finally get a shiny object for them to be distracted with and some story, some spin about how the Epstein files is not what you think it is or whatever it is, remember how they were playing games right now. And also, remember all the left-wing media buffoons who told you, oh, MAGA's turning on Trump. When they go back and they put on those MAGA hats, you go to Adam Mockler's channel and all these buffoons who talk about MAGA's turning on Trump, right? You remember this moment. Don't forget this moment, right? Remember how you were told that nobody cares about Trump? Trump's rallies are so empty. Remember Brian Tyler going, oh, his rallies, nobody's going to his rallies. Then he wins in all swing states. Now, MAGA's turning on Trump. MAGA's turning on Trump. Fuck the hell they are. They are not turning on Trump. They will not turn on Trump. That is motherfucking bullshit. Just like the bullshit of nobody's going to Trump's rallies. Look at the rallies. Look at the empty bleachers. Trump just won in all the swing states. Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States of America. How's it go, George Bush? Fool me once, fool me twice, fool me, fool me, fool me. Can't fool me again. So, is the left gonna fall for left-wing media and their bullshit again? Is the right wing gonna fall for Donald Trump and the right-wing influencers bullshit again? It almost seems like tribalism is kind of a form of brain rot. Maybe. I don't know. Comment below and let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm the one. I'm the one. I have it wrong. I'm the one. I don't understand. I don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm just talking out my ass. I'm just doing a video for clicks. That's what it is. I want to see people say, "Oh, the baby channel. I watched your video and it's so awesome and you're so great and you have a great speaking voice and I'm gonna tell all my friends about this wonderful video." Right? Maybe that's what it is, right? Donald Trump is right. He's trying to do the right thing, and he wants to move on to something else because there's no files. Yeah, Donald Trump's right? And the left-wing media, yeah, MAGA's turning on Trump. That's true. That's absolutely true. I'm the one that doesn't get it. I don't know anything about politics, man. The fact that I predicted that Trump would be back in office 3 years before he did, that was just a fluke, right? And right now, I mean, if it turns out that everything I'm saying in this video is true, it'll probably be a fluke again. What do I know? I'm just an idiot on YouTube. All right, guys. I'm about to go see the woke Superman. That's another. It's so stupid, man. I don't know. In our country, I don't know what's going on. It's so insane. It's so insane. Where do you turn? It's so insane. Is that where I'm supposed to go? I don't know where I'm going. I think I need to get off this live stream. Superman is woke because he's an immigrant and something else and something and whatever. Who's in the comments? Jock is in the house. Jock says Jonestown. Joe Jones. How's it go? Wow, wow. Boom, 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 boom. Jonestown. 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 MAGA's turning on Trump. Trump is finished. This time, finally. Finally, the MAGA, they will finally realize that Donald Trump is lying to them. And then the MAGA movement is finally coming to an end. Right? Click on my video. I'm going to tell you how MAGA's revolting. Jake from the TYT was right. He was right. The populist right are rising. They're burning their MAGA hats. Adam Mockler did a video and he showed me that MAGA's burning the hats. Oh no. I'll tell you one thing they're saying that might be actually true. The one thing that they might actually be getting right is what else is goddamn theater? Is the House, the amount of seats that the Republicans are probably going to lose. I wouldn't be surprised. It could go either way. You never know with these things, but I would not be surprised if the midterms is a bloodbath. But again, don't be what's the word I'm looking for? Don't bet your life on that. I wouldn't bet my life on it. It could seem like it's gonna be like that, and then at the last minute something happens and Biden auto pen something, who knows what, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I thought the Republicans were gonna lose big time, and they're doing not too bad. Welcome to American politics, folks. But I will say at least there's at least a possibility. I wouldn't say how much of a possibility, because again, it's too many unknowns, that we could be looking at a bloodbath. What the hell is goddamn theater? I think I gotta stop yapping, because I'm already late for my laser. Laser! They're gonna use lasers. It's the IMAX laser. Who the hell knows what the difference is going to be with the laser projectors, but I guess I'll find out and report to you guys. So I'm going to go get wokeified in the theater. Jock, I like Mockler, but yes, we leftists have bubbles. Yes! The truth shall set you free. All right, thanks for joining Jock and everybody else. I'm out because I'm